Hello and welcome back to the one and only hashtag 135. I am your host, Alexis Appleby, and joining me today we have Mr. Craig Bland, principal of Jordan Elementary School, and Mr. Clark, the superintendent of our district.
Hey.
Hello.
Craig Squared.
Otherwise known as Craig Squared.
So can we talk about your trip?
Please do.
I
Let the
think-
mountain man
Yeah.
talk about his adventures.
I don't know that it was much of an adventure because I was dehydrated and overheated most of the time. But hey, I was going to the mountains to get away, and it turned out to be record-setting temperatures of over 100 degrees. The water didn't work in our cabin, and I spent all the time just trying to find shade.
I can't imagine putting myself through that.
And I
For a
didn't.
week.
Well, the other thing was I didn't take clothes for 100-degree temperatures. You know, I was prepared for 40, 50 degrees, so everything I had was kind of thermal, which just helps with the heat. You know?
I'm glad you finished that sentence because when you started out, I didn't take any clothes. The visual.
Yeah,
I don't want
well.
to see that. So anyway,
Nobody needs
to see that.
So a good.
But you made it back.
I did make it back,
Safe and
I
sound.
would go again. There's no way that you can have record-setting temperatures 2 years in a row.
So actually, what is the temperature normally like in the location that you were in Colorado, correct?
Colorado, high 40s at night, high 60s, low 70s during the day, but it was over 100 degrees. And
Well, they're having record-setting temperatures out west.
Due to climate change, I may add.
changing the climate from the norm.
I guess at this point, maybe you should introduce
We actually have two guests
our
today.
guests today.
Yeah, they are from our Home to School Connection program. They are Home to School liaisons for District 135. First, we have Ms. Kathy Donnelly
Madam
and Ms.
Kathy Donnelly.
Lindsey Miller. And you guys are getting an applause right now.
Oh, wow.
Welcome.
Welcome. How are you two ladies doing today?
Great. How are you doing, Lindsay?
I'm good.
And you know what, Kathy, I know you have a lot to say about this program because probably not everybody listening knows what the Home to School Connection program is. So if you could enlighten us, we would love that.
Okay. The Home to School Connection program was actually the brainchild of Craig Clark, who wanted to hire someone that would be a kind of an advocate and a mentor between the school and the homes of the families of the students that we have in our schools. So my job and Lindsay's job are about finding obstacles for kids that can be referred to our program by any staff inside of those buildings. So we can get a referral from anyone from the superintendent to the principals to teachers to cooks to bus drivers, anyone that has a concern about a student. And then we work with the families to try to help them with obstacles for kids that go to our schools.
Thank you.
That was a lengthy answer,
Yeah.
but a good one.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
You hit all the
Did you plan that? Or was you just
It was
talking off
it
the
was
cuff?
scripted. I know it.
Were you reading?
It was not scripted. I've said it 1,000 times.
It did sound like you were reading, but you knew it because it's right up here. You got it right off the top of your head.
And she is available to speak at your next
Anything.
Yeah.
anything.
Anything
function.
you want to hear about us at, we will come.
And are you needing any types of donations right now?
Our program functions a lot on donations. We have a lot of churches that give us funding. We write grants. We also have individual donors. And we collect all kinds of things to help families that are referred to our program. Some of these families may be homeless or doubled up or living in inadequate housing. So we try to do our best to help these families out. We have our own household pantry that we keep at the First Baptist Church, and we try to collect household goods to share with families in our community.
So one of the things that I've always been impressed with the program about was not necessarily how we help people. That is impressive in itself, but the way that the community has responded to being a help. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I think that this program started out being, well, we had no idea that it was going to expand to what it is today. But I think that the community trusts that everything that we get donated goes directly to the kids and the families that we serve. We do a lot of training. We do a lot of public speaking. And I think there's an investment from the community because they really appreciate what we do for kids and families.
It is appreciated.
Thank you.
Most definitely, coming from
Thank you.
an administrator in one of the buildings here in the district. What both of you do is extremely meaningful and beneficial to all of our students. So thank you.
And what do you have to say, Miss Lindsey?
They're blushing.
Where can we find you guys at?
Lindsey said no. No.
It's a hard act to follow.
Maybe Lindsey can answer this question.
Okay.
Yeah. Where can we find you guys at, Lindsey?
So our office is located in the parking lot behind the administration building. We are now we have a sign. We have a sign that says Home to School Connection.
Fancy.
And in case you don't notice the sign, we are the one with the ramp, and we have a blue curtain.
All right.
And one of the individuals has blue hair also.
To match the
Not like
blue curtain.
gray blue hair, but like funky
Purple, blue.
purple blue, funky hair.
Mystical dragon.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, Mystic Dragon.
That's what it's called.
That sounds like my deodorant.
Let's not get on the axe topic again. That was the last show, the last podcast.
the 17-minute one.
Yeah.
So
It went
if-
on and on. And
If
on.
the community member or a parent or somebody may need some help or guidance or like, they're have a special need and they need to contact somebody to try and find out how to meet that need, can they reach out to you?
Yes, usually we encourage people to go to their building principal, and the principal will fill out a referral for us. But if there are families that want to deal directly with myself or Lindsey, our numbers are 545-6602 and 545-6617. We usually get referrals from, inside of the buildings, but we would not object if a family called us directly.
And on the flip side, if
donations?
a
I was thinking the
community
same
member
thing.
wanted to donate, would they call the same numbers?
Yes, call the same numbers. We will instruct them to how to get stuff to our household pantry or directly to families that we know are in need of things.
So what are some items that are typically that you're in need of on a regular basis?
Well, this year has started out with us really needing bicycles, all ages and all sizes. We bought quite a few new tires to fix up some older bikes to give to families. Some of our families have no transportation, so giving that family a bike is a real good resource. They can go to food pantries, they can go to appointments, they can go to their jobs. So bikes are big. We take gently used furniture that we take to our pantry at the First Baptist Church, all kinds of household goods, pots, pans, dishes, anything that a typical family would need to set up a household.
I think there have been several, probably a lot of success stories from this program. Does anything stand out? Is there any situation that you've helped in that you've seen a great change in?
Well, I think this year, a success story we hope is going to become a success story is a family that came to us. The referral just said personal hygiene problems. So we thought, oh, this is going to be a slam dunk. Well, it turned out that, there was no water, there was no furniture, there was no anything. This family just had the clothes on their back. And so what turned out into a bigger case. Now the mom's got a job. By tomorrow, she will have a bicycle that's been all refurbished. We were able to bring in groceries. We were able to get water. So it was a small case at first that ended up taking us days to get lined out. Yeah. But I'm sure that we have made a real impact on that family and those children for sure.
Definitely. I mean, having a warm meal every night makes a change. You don't realize it until you go without a hot
Correct.
meal. Yeah.
And just providing the means for individuals to get back on their feet and actually be able to survive on their own is very, very important.
And there's lots of trust issues.
Right.
So this family was very, very guarded at first. We had bought them food, but they didn't tell us, well, that's nice, but we don't have any pots, pans, dishes, silverware. So by the time we dealt with them 2 or 3 times, they realized we were people that they could trust. And then they opened up and really told us their story. It's a very unique program in that we actually do what we say.
Yeah.
Great.
And it's interesting that you're impacting families, kids that are coming to school that are living in these situations. Education is not as important as survival, but if we can help support and lift up these families, then kids can kind of concentrate on the importance of their education as well too. So my hat's off to you guys for what you do.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It is very important that you are building community and you're also lifting people, and we're seeing the effects of that, and hopefully we're also positively changing our community, which needs
Definitely
that.
Well, we've been told by numerous families that they were real paranoid about us coming into their homes, and after meeting us and after working with them, we still see some of the families that we've seen 8 years ago.
And I think that's
So
what
these families never forget about us.
and
so
that
I
is
think
one of
that's
the
good.
key things about your program is that you help the community, but most importantly, you establish solid relationships with our families. And I think that is kind of the most important thing that you do, is that you provide that trust factor that people need, So thank you.
Thanks, Craig Bland.
No problem, Kathy Donnelly.
How long has this program been going at the school?
This is our 8th year.
Okay.
I had to ask Mr. Clark that question before we came. He says, I've been here 9, so you've been here 8.
Okay. Well, that's a long time. And like you said, building relationships for 8 years.
Yes.
And then
I think we have good street cred.
yeah.
And not only relationships with our families, but with our staff. I
Yes.
think that's the important thing too, is that, it's great to have you all in the buildings with us, helping us alongside us, and knowing that we can trust you to help us out with those in need. So
We love our
hats off to
jobs.
both of you.
Yes, I would agree.
Well, we want to thank you guys for joining our show today. We're really glad that you guys came on, even if Lindsey didn't want to
So
talk
can
about
Lindsey
that.
say one other parting word before, or words of wisdom?
Thank you for having us.
I love
Thank
it.
you, Lindsey. I just
You
wanted
want to know something interesting about Lindsey
Sure.
that you may not know?
Yes.
She is quite the bowler.
Oh.
Are you really? So
Oh.
wait, Kathy, give her the microphone for a second. Let's hear about this.
Yeah.
So let's hear about your bowling expertise, or what do you bowl in a league?
Not anymore. So I grew up bowling. I grew up in a bowling family. That sounded strange.
Not
but,
at all.
No.
Not at
we
all.
come from
So it was like a
long
big
line.
thing. I mean,
Yeah.
She
Bowling.
didn't just bowl on the weekends, though, right? I
like
mean,
you were competitive bowling, right?
Yeah. So I grew up bowling in league, and then I bowled in high school, and I got a scholarship to bowl in college.
Oh wow!
Um,
I think I
Wow.
remember that when we interviewed you, that somehow came up, the bowling in college.
your highest game?
I think it was like a 279. I
Wow.
couldn't quite get a 300. I'm still
Wow.
kind of salty about it, but hey,
A lot of
that's
gutter
okay.
balls.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got a 279 once after I added 3 years worth of bowling.
Is there a lot of family competition for you? You said you're a bowling family, so is there a lot within bowling?
Yeah, well, there used to be because my brother is naturally better at everything, of course. So then it took me a lot longer and a lot more practice to get to where I was. But then he would go out there and he would not practice and do awesome. So that made it a little bit competitive between us, but it was always fun. So
Does your husband bowl also?
he, not so much anymore, but he bowled in high school and bowled all growing up too. So
Is that how you guys met bowling?
First date bowling?
Yeah.
At the bowling alley?
no, but we did know who each other was whenever we first got together because of seeing
Bowling.
each other bowling in high school. So
It was destiny.
yeah.
When their bowling balls met.
Well, we want to thank you guys again for joining our show. And anybody listening, if you do need any kind of help, please reach out to Kathy or Lindsey. They are waiting for you guys and ready to help you at your beck and call, if you will, Madam Kathy. But also, we want to let anybody know that's listening as well. If you could subscribe to our YouTube channel, you won't miss any more episodes. And we'll see you guys next time on #135.